Hey everyone, it's Allie, and we are so happy. It works. It works. It works. We're so happy it works. Cuties, Hollow Palm is everything I asked for and more. We expected it to be kind of garbage. We expected it to be barely as good as a weapon. And this thing is disgusting. This thing is so much better than an actual weapon, and we've had zero issues playing it all day. When I swapped to it, I had a great time. Everyone's been having a great time. No one's complaining. No one's having any issues. We're all just deleting stuff, and it's just so fun. Kitty's Hollow Palm is a go. If you were on the fringe about playing the season or playing the build, don't worry. It's good. It's good. Just play it. Have fun. We're having fun. We're doing so well. It's not Huntress 2.0. I'm so happy about that. Oh my God. So with that said, kitties, let's discuss how day one went, and let's talk about some updates for the build and give you a few additional tips on how to swap over and any other things that you might want to keep in mind as you're progressing from everything I learned. I do want to mention that the written guide has been updated with literally everything we discovered on day one. I was sitting here live updating everything. Honestly, probably a good quarter of the time on day one, which is me tabbed out updating the written guide as needed, but everything is here. Just read through it. If you read through everything, please reread through everything again. Most importantly, the skill gem section and the Act 3 Hollow Palm swap received the majority of the changes, with us changing supports around and whatnot. So do highly recommend for you to look through all this again. What I want to first talk about is going to be swapping to Hollow Palm itself, because we learned quite a bit about it. Some people, madmen, just immediately swapped to build in Act 1 and some people in Act 2, and it seemed like it just worked out for them. They had no issues. I personally don't recommend doing that because I didn't personally test any of that, so I can't attest for it and tell you that's actually going to work. I specifically swapped the moment I killed the Act 2 boss, just because why not? It seemed like it was working for other people, so might as well see how it goes earlier. The written guide is still going to be talking about how to swap in the middle of Act 3, but I'm going to quickly go over here how you could swap earlier if you really want to. The thing that we learned that made the swap over really comfortable is the new fissure support called branching fissures. You can either use this or upheaval, and this is significantly better given that this doesn't have the nasty less attack speed that upheaval has, which felt kind of garbage. With this, I just immediately, the moment I killed the Act 2 boss, just went over and picked up Hollow Palm and just went and got myself a Stormwave, got the free Lesser's Jeweler's Orb from the campfire in the first zone before the Act 3 town, resocketed my Stormwave, and then just simply put in branching fissures, Lightning Attunement, and Martial Temple, which is now called Rapid Assault, as my 3 supports. I'm now running Electrocute because once you do get yourself Combat Frenzy from killing the Bog Witch in Act 3, are going to need to put this on here. So you can start electrocuting to generate frenzy charges for combat frenzy, which then get turned to power charges through resonance, which is what's required to turn on charge staff, as this is where a lot of your single target damage is going to come from. I actually didn't even bother pressing Tempest Flurry or Tempest Spell for like half of Act 3 because Stormwave by itself was so strong that these kind of just sat there. Now at this point, I'm in the middle of Act 4, and I do use both Tempest Flurry and Bell for single target damage, and my Stormwave just completely sits there. But for first half, just press nothing but Stormwave. One thing I want to mention here about the new supports is that what this does is it'll give you random fissures off of your main skills. As you can see here, I have a wave that goes forward, and I get random fissures going to the left or the right. These fissures can shotgun. If you're fighting a boss with this, pretend the boss is standing right here. I don't want to be in its face like this because then the fissures are going to branch behind it and they're not going to hit. And I want to stand maybe around here or so, as that way the fissures will on average split right on top of where the boss is, and they'll get hit by multiple of them, giving you a lot of damage. You also want to do this for rares and while mapping. You just want to basically play a ranged melee build, and you'll do significantly more damage. From there, just continue as normal through all of Act 3 and you should have no issues. Get over to Bog Witch, get yourself Combat Frenzy, and then get yourself Charge Staff, and you'll have a really good time. All this is mentioned in the skill section, so please do read through that, as it's going to be in a lot more detail than what I'm going over here. But the only other thing I want to really mention is as you push into Act 4, you are going to want to go and grab yourself a Mana Leech on both your Voltaic Mark and on your Charge Staff, as we do end up having some mana issues around here. And with those two, plus the new Walker of the Wilds Keystone, you basically get to remove all of your mana issues and everything feels super comfy. So just to reiterate everything so you fully understand, kill the Act 2 boss, get yourself the extra Lesser Jeweler's Orb, and just immediately swap and have a really good time. My gear when I did swap was hot garbage. I'm still using the chest plate and helmet from Act 2, and I had very little evasion total, with my gloves and my boots both just being raw armor bases. I have since then upgraded a few items here and there, but my gear is still not the greatest and everything still feels completely fine. You're mostly wanting to focus on getting nothing but raw evasion bases, as these are going to be where the majority of your damage is going to come from, as this gives you additional attack speed through Hollow Palm. I do have a few hybrid bases, and it's okay to use hybrid bases if needed, or just things that don't even give you you evasion rating in general. If the stats on it are really good, you don't need to hard focus on nothing but Hollow Palm technique, but ideally, you do want to try and get as much evasion as possible just to maximize potential. We also learned that your glove slot is very important in this build. Ideally, try to look for the leech physical attack damage as mana roll anywhere, whether it's on your gloves, your rings, or your amulet, doesn't matter. That also would kind of just make it so you don't need the mana leech rolls anymore. And the mana leech roll plus walker is more than enough. But because Hollow Palm gives you a stupid amount of added damage, better than literally any staff you'll be able to get at an equivalent level worth of damage per skill level, getting +1 melee, I believe you can get +2 as well on your gloves, is a stupid amount of extra DPS. If you find a pair of gloves that has +1 melee on it, doesn't matter if it's an ES, armor, or evasion pair of gloves, you're likely going to use those for quite a while, as that +1 is worth probably 20-25% more total DPS. Be on the lookout for it if you can. If you don't get any, it's completely okay. I personally haven't used a single pair yet, but it's definitely going to be a super important role for us to look for in the end game. That's all I really have to go over in this video in terms of stuff to talk about. We're slowly progressing through Act 4, and I'm currently in the middle of updating the written guide as we go through it with any new information. I do encourage you to come by my Twitch stream and come level with us and play along with us, just so you can immediately be informed about any sort of changes that come into the build. Tomorrow, we're going to get to endgame, and oh boy, I have some really interesting tech I want to try for the build, where this build is going to look nothing like it currently looks, and we are going to do some very silly things with it. We'll see how the testing goes tomorrow. I'm excited for it, and it'll be mentioned in both the written guide and in tomorrow's update video once we go and work out the kinks with it. I hope you kitties have fun with Hollow Palm if you're currently playing it. If you're thinking about playing it or weren't sure if you want to play PoE 2, you should definitely come play this build. Highly worth it, super fun, and we've had zero issues with it. And with that said, kitties, I hope to see you all in tomorrow's update video. Hope to see you all on Twitch. Come hang out with us and all the other kitties and be a part of our community, either on Twitch or in Discord. And feel free to ask any questions that you might have in the comments below, and I'll try to help you as soon as I can. With all that said, kitties, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you all in tomorrow's update video.